As my father signed the final document with flair, the mahogany walls of his study seemed to close in around him. The grating sound of his pen as it moved across the paper was akin to nails on a chalkboard. "It's finished," he declared, pushing the trust fund documents across his desk. "All $2 million will be transferred to Jennifer instead." I, Emma Chin, at 28, found myself being dismissed by my family yet again. My sister Jennifer was by the window, trying to conceal a triumphant smile during our father's decision to disinherit me. "Emma," my mother sighed from her seat in the leather armchair, "if only you had chosen law school like your sister, if you had just applied yourself." "I did apply myself," I responded quietly, observing my father's expression darken. "Just not to what you wanted." "Tinkering with computers in your apartment is not applying yourself," he retorted, as he stood over his desk. "Your sister made partner at Thompson and Mitchell by 32, while you're coding websites for small businesses and living in a tiny city apartment." I could have informed them that my supposed tinkering was actually the development of a breakthrough financial technology platform that was poised to revolutionize global markets, and that I had a Series B funding meeting next week with venture capitalists who had already valued my company at $300 million. But I chose not to. I'd learned long ago that my family only perceived what they wanted. "You're right," I said, standing up. "I'm clearly a disappointment. Jennifer deserves the money more than I do." For a moment, Jennifer shifted uneasily by the window, revealing a glimpse of the sister I once knew. The one who shared ice cream with me on rough school days and helped me with math homework before our parents' expectations created a divide between us. "Emma," she began, but I raised a hand. "It's fine, Jen, really. Congrats on making partner. You've earned this." As I made my way to the door, my mother called after me. "Will you at least join us for dinner? Your father's reserved a table at Le Bernardin to celebrate Jennifer's promotion." I turned back once more, taking in the scene, my father's disapproving frown, my mother's worried expression, Jennifer's mix of triumph and guilt. The study walls were lined with law degrees and bar association awards, devoid of any photo of me or acknowledgement of my achievements. "I have a meeting," I replied, "but enjoy dinner." The drive back to the city gave me time to reflect. The trust fund had never been about the money. I had more than enough of my own now. It was about what it symbolized. Identical trusts had been set up for Jennifer and me at birth, intended for release on our 33rd birthdays, but a clause allowed our parents to redirect funds if they deemed one of us unworthy by family standards. My phone buzzed with a message from Maya, my CTO. "VCs moved the meeting up to tomorrow. You ready?" I smiled, anticipating our presentation. "More than ready," I typed back. "Time to change the game." Upon reaching my apartment, the same small space my father derided, I removed my heels and headed straight to my home office. The wall-mounted screens displayed real-time data from our AI system's latest test run. Numbers streamed past, each representing yet another successful prediction, another vindication of what we built through the so-called tinkering with computers. The inception of ATG, driven by my father's dismissal, led to groundbreaking advancements in adaptive trading heuristics and neural analytics, creating an unparalleled AI system for forecasting market trends. This system processed millions of data points to find patterns that human traders couldn't detect. Once more, my phone buzzed. It was Jennifer. "I'm sorry about Dad. You know how he is. Trust fund doesn't matter, right? You're doing well with your computer stuff," she texted. I gazed at her message, noting how her attempt at empathy carried an implicit disregard for my work. "Thanks, Jen," I replied. "Enjoy dinner." Refocusing on my screens, I reviewed the pitch deck for the upcoming EC meeting. The figures were incredible. Our beta testing indicated that ATNA outperformed traditional trading algorithms by an impressive 32%. Major financial entities were already discreetly reaching out, eager for early access to the innovation. A gentle chime alerted me to an incoming video call. Maya's face appeared on one of the screens, her usual enthusiasm somewhat muted. "How'd it go with the family?" she inquired. "About as you'd expect," I answered, running a hand through my hair. "Dad transferred my trust fund to Jennifer. They're celebrating at Le Bernardin right now." Maya shook her head. Their loss. Ready to show those VCs what success really looks like tomorrow. Examining another screen with ATNA's latest test outcomes, I noted, actually, I've been contemplating something. What if we forego the VC investment? Maya's eyes widened in surprise. Emma, we're talking about a $50 million investment at a $300 million valuation. That's small-minded. I cut in. Examine these numbers, Maya. We don't need VC funding. We could go public within a year, retain full control, and just consider my father's face at the IPO ceremony, demonstrate what playing with computers can truly achieve. Maya paused, contemplating, before a slow smile appeared on her face. You plan to build an empire, she mused. I plan to construct something undeniable, even to my father, I clarified, something transformative for the global financial sphere. Your father is a corporate lawyer, Maya observed. Wouldn't he have heard about ATNA if it's as groundbreaking as we believe? I laughed. Maya, my father still uses a BlackBerry and associates coding with community college classes. He's unaware of ATNA because he's seldom questioned my pursuits, his oversight. Maya smiled decisively. So, what's the strategy? Cancel the VC meeting? An idea crystallized. No, let's proceed. But instead of seeking investment, we propose partnerships to access their vast web of financial connections. It's their network we require, not the funds. 6 months past my disinheritance, I found myself in our new downtown Manhattan office. I watched our engineering team finalize ATNA's testing phase. The expansive windows offered a sweeping view of the financial district, home to institutions soon to be revolutionized by our technology. Emma, Maya called from her station. You need to see this. I approached, coffee in hand, to examine her monitor. The recent simulation results surpassed our highest expectations. ATNA wasn't merely forecasting market shifts, it was foreseeing events that would influence the market. Is this accurate? I questioned, leaning closer to scrutinize the data. Maya nodded, her eyes alight with excitement. Triple verified. ATNA recognized patterns in social media, news articles, and trading behaviors that predicted the Morgan Stanley merger 3 days prior to its announcement. If our efforts had been real trading instead of a simulation, it could have made billions, I concluded. Have you shown this to the compliance team? I inquired. That's the best part, she replied, bringing up another screen. Everything is entirely legal. Athena isn't using any insider information. It just excels at linking public data better than any human could ever hope to. My phone buzzed with a text from Jennifer. Hey sis, haven't heard from you in months. Our parents are worried. Dad mentioned your apartment's phone number is disconnected. I smirked slightly, knowing it was disconnected. We had relocated the entire operation to a $40 million office space just 6 blocks from Wall Street, but my family still assumed I was tinkering with computers in my tiny apartment. I'm fine, I texted back, just busy with work. Another buzz followed, this time from David, our head of legal. SEC meeting confirmed for next week. They're interested in our compliance protocols. An understatement, considering as soon as rumors about our revolutionary development in fintech spread, the SEC nearly implored us for a meeting. They wanted to comprehend our technology before it hit the market, which was very astute of them. Miss Chen, our receptionist's voice came through the intercom. There's a Mr. Thompson here to see you. He claims he's from Thompson and Mitchell. My heart skipped a beat. Thompson and Mitchell were one of the largest corporate law firms in the city and also Jennifer's firm. Send him in, I replied, straightening my blazer. James Thompson himself entered the room, the senior partner and my sister's boss. He looked like the quintessential lawyer my father admired, silver-haired, impeccably dressed, embodying old money assurance. Miss Chun, he said, offering his hand, thank you for seeing me unannounced. I hope you'll forgive the interruption, but we couldn't ignore the whisperings about what you're developing here. You heard rumors? I asked, gesturing for him to take a seat. From whom? He smiled diplomatically. Let's just say some financial institutions are quite interested in your technology. They're our clients, and they've asked us to explore potential relationships. Does my sister know you're here? His smile wavered slightly. Jennifer? No, this meeting is strictly confidential. I have to say, I was surprised to know you were her sister. She never mentioned having a sibling involved in computing. Playing with computers, I corrected him. I doubt she mentions me at all. Maya appeared in the doorway, tablet in hand. Emma, sorry to interrupt, but the Goldman Sachs team is here for their demo, she announced. Thompson's eyebrows rose at the mention of Goldman Sachs, clearly recalculating my significance. Mr. Thompson, I said, standing up, I apologize, but I must attend another meeting. If you wish to discuss potential collaborations, please reach out to our legal team. Of course, he stated, rising swiftly. But Miss Chun, whatever Goldman is offering, we can match that. Thompson and Mitchell represent half the major financial institutions in the city. I walked him to the door with a peculiar satisfaction. It's not just about money, Mr. Thompson. It's about transforming the entire landscape, I pointed out, certain he'd comprehend. After he'd left, Maya gave me a knowing look. You enjoyed that, didn't you? She questioned. Maybe just a bit, I confessed. How long do you think before he informs Jennifer about our venture here? Given that his firm represents major financial interests worth billions, I'd say about 5 minutes. Predictably, another text buzzed in. Emma, why didn't you inform me Jim Thompson just returned from your office looking as if he'd seen a ghost? What exactly are you up to? I tucked my phone away without responding. I am in the midst of preparations. The team from Goldman Sachs was already seated in the conference room, comprised of 5 executives in high attire who tried to mask their anticipation. Having Goldman as an early collaborator would unlock endless opportunities in the financial sector. Before delving into the pivotal demonstration, I stood before them. Ladies and gentlemen, please sign these NDAs, as what you are about to witness will revolutionize market mechanisms. Later, there would be time for family reconciliations. On the morning of our IPO, I was in front of my mirror, aligning my suit, which was Chanel, though my parents might not notice such details. On my desk sat the Wall Street Journal, highlighting our looming market debut as the largest tech IPO of the year, with an anticipated valuation of $800 million. My phone was incessant, buzzing with calls from Jennifer. Then my mother, and eventually even my father reached out, but I hadn't replied. They were all coming to the ceremony today anyway. The invites had been dispatched weeks ago. Maya, appearing at my office door, asked if I was ready, looking sharp in her business suit, a departure from her usual textile attire. Born ready, I responded, grabbing my presentation folder. She confirmed Atna was running smoothly that morning, performing phenomenally with a 99.7% accuracy in predicting market shifts. Excitement simmered on the trading floor as this was poised to be a game-changer. When we arrived at the stock exchange, a throng had already gathered at our arrival, financial journalists at the door, cameras capturing our every move. I caught fragments of their words. The youngest female CEO to take a company public. The trade technology that's already inked deals with major financial players. The air inside the exchange was electric as our team settled near the podium alongside representatives from leading banks and institutions. In the front row, there sat my family, my father's face a tapestry of pride, regret, confusion mingled with awe, while my mother continuously dabbed her eyes, and Jennifer looked at me as if meeting her sister for the first time. As I stepped up to the podium, my father approached. Emma, he began, his voice heavy with unspoken sentiments. Calmly, I replied, you didn't know, because you never asked. Before he could answer, the president of the exchange summoned me to begin. Addressing the now silent trading floor, I announced, 3 years ago, in a small apartment, I commenced coding ATG. People dismissed it as merely tinkering, a squandering of potential, not realizing I was crafting the future. My gaze locked with my father's as I continued. Today, Anna processes more financial information in a second than Wall Street could evaluate in a month, foresighting market trends with exquisite precision, under stringent ethical and legal codes. She is a testament to the power of upholding your vision, even in solitude. Following ceremonial tradition, speeches, handshakes, and a bell ringing ensued. Yet the crowning moment arrived when our stock figures blazed across the big board, inciting cheers as they exceeded projected opening values. By launch, my share in the company was valued at over $300 million, substantially eclipsing the trust fund my father relinquished years ago. Post-ceremony, my family approached, emotions rich and varied, their presence marking a tentative reconciliation with the person I had become. "Emma," Jennifer began, her voice unsteady, "I'm truly sorry." Her lawyer-like demeanor was finally wavering. "All that time, when you attempted to explain your work." I gently cut her off. "Don't worry about it," I said kindly. "You all chose to see what you wished." My father cleared his throat and ventured, "Princess, regarding the trust fund." "Keep it," I interjected. "Jennifer earned hers, just as I've earned this." Often, the greatest contribution someone can make is to expect you will fail. It makes achieving success so much more gratifying. "But we're family," my mother objected. "We should have supported you." I glanced at Maya and our team, those who believed in the dream when it was merely a string of code in a cramped apartment. "You're right. Family is what we are," I affirmed. "That's why each of you is invited to dinner this evening. I've secured the private room at Le Bernardin. I've heard it's a splendid venue to celebrate success." A flicker of remembrance crossed my father's face at the mention of our dinner 6 months ago, but he nodded with a slight smile. We'd be honored. That night, as my family admired our company's technological achievements and triumphs over fine wine, I recalled the arduous journey to this moment. The nights spent coding while they assumed I squandered time, the meetings dismissed as playing with computers, the accomplishment they nearly attributed to someone else. My phone buzzed with a message from Maya. "Stock closed at double our projected value. You're officially a billionaire." I watched delight as my father struggled to explain to his country club friends how his disappointing daughter built a business empire under his very eyes. Success, I realized, wasn't about proving them wrong. It was about proving myself right. "Emma," Jennifer drew me aside, "I have to confess something. After Jim Thompson returned from your office that day, I researched everything about your company, Atna. I invested in every firm that showed interest in your technology. I believed in you, even if I didn't show it then." Raising an eyebrow, I asked, "Did you profit?" She beamed, "Enough to repay that trust fund tenfold." "Good," I replied, "because I need a lawyer I can rely on for our next expansion phase, someone who comprehends both technology and family." Her eyes widened. "Are you offering me a job?" "I'm offering you a chance to be part of something larger than both of us," I said. "What do you say, sis? Ready to play with computers?" The following morning, as I walked into our office building, now proudly the Atna Tower, I passed a young intern coding during her break in the lobby. She reminded me of myself when everyone thought I was wasting time with computers. "Keep at it," I advised her. "The largest success stories often begin in the smallest apartments." She looked up, realization dawning. "Miss Chen, I read about how you built Atna. My parents think I'm reckless for choosing programming over law school, but you have a vision." I completed her thought. "Cling to that, and remember, those who underestimate you today will be reading about you tomorrow." Riding the elevator to my office, I pondered the concept of legacy, not the kind my father tried to impose upon me, but the type you construct yourself, one line of code at a time. Atna was doing more than altering the financial world. She was demonstrating that success doesn't always appear as expected, and sometimes the best inheritance isn't one given, but one created by oneself.